I've been saying for years that one film that could have definitely done with a reboot was Jumanji. I absolutely love the 1995 Robin Williams film, but there's no denying that when you watch it now, it looks extremely dated. Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle is a prime example of a reboot done well. It takes an old concept and finds a way to make it fresh and new for a modern audience. And like Jumanji the game, this film knows how to suck you in. Hey guys, so apparently I'm doing this review in my gym gloves today because I just recorded my little thumbnail logo and forgot to take them off, but yeah. Okay, here we go. So this version of Jumanji sees 4 kids who are stuck in detention and they find this old games console with a Jumanji game in it which is beckoning them to play with the old classic bongo drums like in the previous one. The kids are then transported into the game where they must play as their chosen avatar character. They each have 3 lives and they can only leave the game once they return a gemstone to its origin and shout out the name of the game. Jumanji! So instead of elements of the game coming into the real world, this time we're immersed into the world which Robin Williams' character Alan Parrish was sucked into in the previous film. Unlike the 1995 film, this is still very much a comedic film, except this time a lot of the comedy comes from the whole body swap concept that this film is centered around. The weedy, nerdy gamer Spencer is thrust into the Herculean body of Dwayne Johnson. It's always funny seeing a mountain of a man who's really timid and shy and sensitive, and he's the reluctant leader of the group in this case because he's got the most gaming experience. The jockey Fridge, whatever kind of name that is thrust into the body of Kevin Hart, who is the zoologist. And yeah, because it's Kevin Hart, expect plenty of jokes about his stature, and also Kevin Hart talking really loud and really fast. Kind of reminds me of someone I know. The Wallflower Martha becomes the killer of men Ruby Roundhouse, who is like an homage to Lara Croft, and she's played by Karen Gillan. And best of all, the self-absorbed Instagram princess Bethany is transported into the body of cartographer Jack Black. No! I'm an overweight middle-aged man. I didn't think it was possible for me to love Jack Black even more, but oh my god, I absolutely love him in the role of Bethany. Everything about this is so spot on. His idiosyncrasies, his mannerisms, even his eye contact is so in line with how a spoilt, vain, self-absorbed teenage girl would act. How often do middle-aged men get to play 16-year-old girls? Not very often, but Jack Black absolutely shines in this role. So what did I like about this film? Well, first of all the performances are really good. They've got a good collective chemistry as a cast, the 4 leads. But the one person I would say is the weakest of the 4 is Kevin Hart, because he's the one character that doesn't really align with his younger self in the real world. It's sort of like Kevin Hart is just playing himself in this movie. So yeah, he's probably the weakest, I'd say. I also loved how they addressed the blatant sexism of female game characters with Karen Gillan's avatar costume. It's just massively inappropriate for a jungle environment, but that's what happens when you are a female character in a gaming world. But that's another positive thing. The 4 scriptwriters that wrote this film actually do a very good job of paying attention to the little details of what it's like to be inside a game. The gaming characters all having strengths and weaknesses, the use of NPCs or non-playing characters which only have a limited number of responses, so you can only ask them a finite number of questions. And the NPCs are also cleverly used as a way of sort of giving you the exposition, and it's sort of in a self-aware manner, which I really liked. And the action scenes are very much what you would expect from a video game. They're very grand and very explosive and very hyperactive. As far as what's bad, this film has a really lame-ass villain who's played by Bobby Cannavale, and yeah, he's kind of like this updated version of Van Pelt, you know, the character from the previous Jumanji film, who was played by Jonathan Hyde. But comparatively, he's just a really bland boss villain that you expect in a video game, whereas Jonathan Hyde's Van Pelt was a bit more interesting because he was played by the same actor who played Alan Parrish's father. So there was an emotional link that connected the 2 worlds together, and Van Pelt being a sort of manifestation of Alan's insecurities. But here, Cannavale sort of just growls and grunts his way through this film, and yet you just couldn't care less. Also, the character development of the 4 main heroes is quite predictable. You know, friends become enemies, girls bond over boys, and yeah, everybody learns a lesson by the end of the film. It's cookie-cutter storytelling, but it's still really goofy, fast-paced, and a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I would definitely rewatch this film again at some point. So guys, I'm gonna give Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle a 7 out of 10. Boom. Any excuse to show off the gloves. So yeah, my quick question for you today, guys, is which of the Jumanji films do you prefer? Do you prefer the 1995 Robin Williams classic, or do you prefer the Welcome to the Jungle reboot? Whatever you think, you can let me know in the comment section below, or you can catch me here on Twitter. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like the vids, do hit the subscribe button for me, okay? Oh, thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.